Hello everyone, this is Justin Wells with Wells Custom Woodworking. In this video I'm making a key hanger for me and my wife. The previous key hanger we had, every time we'd take our keys off the hook, the whole hanger would fall down along with everybody's keys, and one day it happened to me and I got really frustrated. Also, my wife had a terrible time trying to hang the thing back up, and I always had to come back behind her and hang it back up for her. So to fix this issue, I decided to build my own. And my wife loves horses, so I found a picture of two horses facing towards each other on Google Images. I found the W that I liked for our last name, copied them both, and put them on a 3/4 inch sheet of plywood. Now, I'm not a master scroll saw person, so I've done a few times making various things, and I figured why not make a video of this one. Now you have to, one thing I wish I'd done different was I wish I had put painter's tape across, painted it, or put spray adhesive on it, and then put the images on the painter's tape, then put a clear packaging tape across the top, so that way when the images, when I get close to finishing up the cut, the paper doesn't come popping off like it usually does, and it did on this one for me. I think I edited it out. But I had fun with this project. My wife loves it, and we haven't had any issues with it. Trying to cut out all of the stuff in the middle of the W without any of it breaking, because the plywood is getting very thin in these areas, and I just had to do my best at holding everything together to keep it from breaking and snapping and ruining the whole piece. Also, wish I'd pre-sanded the wood before I cut it, but I didn't think of that either. Now this is the fun part, trying to pull off all that paper to finally be able to sand the thing. This is the reason why I wish I'd used painter's tape trick, because it would have made it a whole lot easier to get that paper off. There's one part in here where I am trying to pull paper off. It was being very stubborn. Also, the glue is still a little tacky feeling to the wood, and I had to take a hand sander and kind of clean it up a little bit, so that way I would quit feeling that sticky, tacky feeling. When I said light hand sanding, I meant light hand sanding. Tacky filling of the glue. Now what I'm doing here is I'm taking the old hanger and trying to figure out the spacing for the hooks, because the original nails that were in the wall are still there, and I wanted to use the same ones instead of having to try to reconfigure or reposition nails in the wall. I also took a straight edge, so that way when I take my plunge router that I just recently bought and made sure I made a straight as possible cut with the keyhole. I'm going to use a DeWalt 618. As you can see here, I am trying to figure out the plunge router part, because the only part I'd use at this point was the fixed base, and never messed with a plunge router before, so I was kind of getting a feel for it and trying to figure out how everything went together. And since then, I've loved the thing and use the I still use the fixed base router a lot, but every once in a while I'll go back and I'll use the keyhole bit with my plunge router and make several different things, especially my signs. Get an idea. Well, what I'm doing here is I'm taking the tape measure to kind of get the first one. I didn't ever measure out how long I wanted the keyhole slots. I was just going to play it by eye. But I figured I might want to stop and measure the first one and get the measurements for the second one, so that way they at least come out even and my key hanger's not sitting cockeyed. Gives me kind of a reference. Not a mathematician. Now here you see me, I am fixing my drill bit. I used some screw-in hooks to hang my keys on, and what I'm doing is just kind of spacing them out, eyeballing it. I'm not really doing any real measuring, making sure they're even, but I used a smaller bit than the screws, and I'm glad I did this because it makes it a whole lot easier to put them in by hand, because let's face it, you try to put one of those in without pre-drilling and they're a pain to get started and they're a pain to go straight. So yeah, I made it easier on myself. I'm glad I thought ahead on that part.